Love to hate you, baby. Love to love you, baby. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about foam rolling. Welcome back to your mat. I started foam rolling maybe about a year ago. I'm really super inconsistent with it, but whenever I do it, I feel so much better. I spoke a little bit about what fascia is, and fascia is the sheath that coats our muscles, and it's actually intertwined, kind of like a spider web or scaffolding through our muscles. And when we get older, when we are dehydrated, when we don't get enough movement, fascia tightens. And what happens when fascia tightens is that we tighten and start to constrict, and we lose range of motion. And when we lose range of motion, we also limit our proprioception. And what proprioception is where we are in space and time. So often it limits how much we can do and where we can go. So as we age and as we get older, we begin to lose certain mobility in our body. But this is kind of one way we can bring it back. So this is a foam roller. This is the one that I actually travel with in my suitcase because it's really light. There are bigger ones, there are smaller ones, there's ones with nodules on them. You can buy these anywhere really. This one I got from Gaiam.com. You also can get them at like Costco or Target or anywhere like that. And I'm going to show you my foam rolling routine when I do it. So I'm going to start on my right side, bringing the foam roller on my mat, bringing the foam roller right at my hips. I'm going to do my IT bands. So I do a lot of walking, and it's a strip of muscle tendon that comes down the side of the knee and attaches at the knee and gets super tight. Now, you will not like rolling out your IT band because it does hurt. And I'm going to tell you something about foam rolling. It hurts. So what I do is I plant my left leg, let my right leg hover, and I go from the top of my hip or the bottom of my hip all the way to my knee. And I pause anywhere, see my face, where there's a little bit of soreness, because that means it needs a little bit of extra love. So I learned foam rolling from my chiropractor, who's a big proponent of it. You got to be careful though. You can get a little bit carried away and do too much foam rolling and get a little sore and bruised. So I recommend you do probably 8 to 10 minutes every other day. If you feel you want to do it every day, maybe just 5 minutes. But I like to just roll over that really tender spot there and pause, because I know when this is tight, it pulls on my knee and my knee gets unhappy. So you can do as many passes as you can stand. I probably did about 8 passes there. Now I'm going to come on to my hamstrings. I'm going to bring the foam roller underneath my knee and roll it right up to my glute. Bending my left knee, that's going to be the part that keeps me moving. I'm going to roll all the way as far as I can go. And if you're getting really creative, you can come all the way up to your butt and roll back. And I try to do about 4, 6, or 8 passes. And again, where it feels tender, I pause for a second. I find this really keeps my knees nice and healthy, keeps my back feeling really good. It's good for me between getting a massage as a self-care option, but really working on that. Good. And then let's take the foam roller just to the bottom of our ankle by our heel, and then, or the top of our ankle by our heel, and just do your calf now. So again, it's going to take a little bit of strength to hold up here. You can always move the leg if you can't quite hold yourself up to move it. I like to hold myself up to move it because it gives me a little bit more pressure and intensity. I get to push down a little bit more on the foam roller. But if you have sore wrists or wrists that have active healing, this may not be a thing for you. So you may need to bring your butt down and move the leg. So now I'm going to come to the other side. You can do about 8 passes on this side. I say 8 and I get really annoyed and I end up doing less because it does hurt. I'm not going to lie. It's not one of those, it's a hurt so good situation. So back and forth. Ooh! And again, you know what, for me it's sore in slightly different spots. And I know if I lean here, it's going to help my knee. Because when I do a lot of walking, sometimes I start to feel a pull on the outside part of my knee. And I know that that's my hip flex or IT band that needs to be stretched. I used to have my chiropractor stretch it for me, and I wanted to continue to like him, so I asked him to stop because it's an incredibly painful thing to do, but it's so good. It really does help with the health of my knees. After I've done about 8 passes, I'll bring it just below my bottom, do my back of my thigh, my hamstrings, which are notoriously tight. For me anyway, I tend to be hypermobile, so I have more flexibility than most, but it's still tight and it still pulls on my back. And once I've done about 8 passes, maybe I'll bring it a little further up to my butt. Then I'll do my calf, right underneath the heel. And again, if you can't put weight in your hands, sit down and you can do it this way, but make sure you're really pushing into the foam roller so you're getting the benefit. I like to plant my right foot, use it for leverage, and roll. Okay, making sure that you're really careful not to hyperextend your knee. Keep a little bend in your knee. We want knee health. We want to exhibit knee love, right? And do as many passes as feels good. Again, I do about 8 or 10 if I don't feel like I want to do it. I might do 6 because I really feel that some foam rolling is better than no foam rolling. And then I like to do my back. So I'm going to come into what looks like a bridge position. Hands behind me. I'm wearing a slippery shirt so the foam roller likes to slide away. And I do the top of my butt and my low back. So not too deep into my low back, just rolling back and forth. I'm going to scoot down a bit because I keep rolling away. So doing glutes. Okay. You can also bring the foam roller a little bit more towards your low back. This one's a little bit more challenging to do, so you'll have to, the challenge will be figuring out how this works for you. Bend your knees and then roll. And again, when I'm doing this, my hamstrings are totally picking up the slack here, but that's okay. You can re-roll them if they feel like they've gotten tight. Or you can do this first and then do the hamstrings. But I try to really get into my low back. And then I'll do a little bit of laying on my low back with my foam roller just at that tight spot, which is, for me, right in my lumbar spine, because I have a really flexy back. And sometimes my back just gets fatigued from keeping me upright. So I like to just get on my foam roller and play back and forth. Do a little bit of movement. Good. And then you can also work on even going higher with the foam roller, getting it up around the shoulders, planting the feet and just, oh yeah, rolling back and forth on the shoulders. I like to keep my neck in a neutral position. It helps that I have this big bun on my head because it keeps me from hyperextending my neck back. And just, if you don't have anybody to rub your shoulders, this is a really nice way. Sometimes I even get a chiropractic adjustment when I have my foam roller on. Y'all hear a crunch, crack, 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 and then it'll feel really good. And I don't know if you know this, but that cracking sound and that popping sound is air that's being released between the joints. Almost like, it sounds like popcorn. I hear it when people are practicing in the wintertime, especially, and they bend forward and their knees crack. It's not a bad thing. It's the release of synovial fluid. So I'm going to do this one more time. I like this so much. I hang out here for too long. And then when you're ready, roll to your side and come up. And then get creative with the foam roller. Like I say, they come in all kinds of different sizes. This just happens to be my travel size and the one that I have closest to me. And already, I feel like this tingling sensation everywhere that I foam roll. And that tells me that I'm bringing new blood flow to the area, that I'm stimulating growth, that I'm relaxing things out, that my body is thanking me for this. So this can be a little bit of self-care that can take like 5 minutes to do. I don't know why I'm not more consistent. I always feel better when I do it, but I encourage you to try it out. There's lots of fun ways that you can play with this. You can even roll your feet on it, all kinds of great stuff. So thank you for joining me for this video. It's been super fun being here, and I hope you have a spectacular day. Namaste. Hey, thank you for being here on my YouTube channel. You are here anyway, so why not subscribe? So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell for notifications. Please share, like, discuss, comment. I'd love to have you part of my YouTube family. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll catch you next time.